All right, you're trying to figure out the absolute best bidding strategy for your account to bring in leads, and you just don't really know where to go. You got target CPA, maximize conversion value, you got manual CPC, enhanced CPC, maximize clicks. You got all these different bidding strategies and you don't know which one to pick. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you two different bidding strategies and one more so than the other that I would recommend you use for the best results when it comes to bringing and generating high quality leads for your business. That way you can bring in more sales. First, I wanted to give you a high-level overview of these two strategies and essentially how Google's AI works when it comes to bidding. This may seem a little complex, but it's really not that complex. AI is kind of given this idea that, oh, it's super, ooper duper, crazy complex, and it is to a point. However, the basic principles still apply, and these basic principles are an AI is essentially a computer that makes decisions for you on your behalf, and this is really good if the AI has a lot of data and it can figure out which keywords convert the best and make your life a whole bunch better because then you don't have to go in and manually change all of these keywords that used to take a lot of time. Google's AI does this much better than a human now, and it can make decisions lightning fast as opposed to us that really we can't. We're just not programmed like an AI. AI, provided it has all the data, can make a much better decision than a human will ever be able to, provided it's in a limited space and it's essentially a game. AI will always beat a human. Just look at, chess. Chess used to be thought of as the smartest sport on the planet, and AI has absolutely crushed every single chess player out there. Unfortunately, AI is just way better at us in every regard when it comes to game theory. Now, back to where I was trying to get to, which was the best bidding strategy for you. What we need to do is give Google's AI enough data that it can make good decisions. Now, when we first start a new account, Google's AI doesn't have any data in it. And what happens is if we put it on an automated bidding strategy right away, Google's AI, instead of making all these decisions to go after all these keywords, it doesn't know what to do. So sometimes it will just do nothing and your account will take a very long time to optimize. Will it still optimize over time? Absolutely, but we could optimize it a lot quicker if we choose to use a couple different methods. Now, I do want to actually go over the bidding strategies we're going to be talking about so everyone knows what they do. The first bidding strategy I want to talk to you about is maximize clicks. And this is a pretty easy bid strategy to understand. What it does is it tells Google's AI, hey, get as many clicks possible for this amount of money. We're willing to pay, let's say, $5 per click. Get as many clicks as possible. And Google's really good at doing this. And it'll just bring in a whole bunch of clicks. Are they all going to be winners? Absolutely not. Generally, your first month is going to be your worst month. But that being said, this is something we're going to be utilizing. And really what we use maximize clicks for is to bring in as much data as possible. So bear that in mind, keep that in mind when we're going to be talking about this in like 30 seconds. We're using this to bring in as much data as possible. Maximize clicks is by far the best strategy, in my opinion, to bring in as much data as possible. Google's AI is really, really good at just going out there and going, yep, get all these clicks, absolutely fine. And we'll bring in all this data. I love this bidding strategy, especially for accounts that don't have a super large budget. This is a great strategy to bring in as much data as possible. This second bidding strategy we're going to be talking about is target CPA and maximize conversions. They've combined the two now. They used to be separate, but they're essentially still separate. What maximize conversions and what target CPA does is it tells Google, hey, we want as many conversions as possible for this certain amount. Now, if you just leave it as maximize conversions without a target CPA, which is telling Google, we want conversions for this certain amount. If you leave it as just maximize conversions, Google will try and get as many conversions as possible. We don't want that because we don't want to pay $5,000 a conversion. We want to set a target CPA. And target CPA is something that really we use in all of our accounts, especially once they have enough data inside of them, to utilize Google's AI to its fullest ability and optimize the account where manual CPC and maximize clicks really just can't. Google's AI is so much better than a human at doing this, and it is a very, very good bidding strategy if you're going after leads and if you have defined conversion actions. You're telling Google, hey, we want this particular conversion action and we want it for this amount of money, go and do that. And Google's AI is going to go after those conversion actions like crazy, and it will do a very good job at bringing in those conversion actions for under the set amount. Please keep in mind, always set an amount on this. Don't let Google just go crazy with it because Google will go crazy if you don't limit it. So please do put a limit on this. With the strategies I'm going to recommend in a second, Google is automatically going to give you a target CPA after a certain amount of conversions in the account. So you don't have to worry about that too much on coming up with like a target CPA if you're scared about that. What I would recommend doing is finding the target CPA Google gives you and then maybe adding $5 to $10. Sometimes Google undercuts itself and it goes, well, I can get conversions for, let's say, $30. And then when you actually put it there, it goes, well, maybe I was kind of wrong about that. So what I like to do is give it an extra $5 to $10, give it some room to work with, saying like, yeah, you can make some mistakes, go right ahead, provided we get the money back later on, month 2, 3, 4. We're cool with that. And that's generally what that $5 to $10 does. Later on, you can bring this back down even below the $30 and what Google recommended. That's the end goal. Bring it down as far as possible, provided we get enough volume. Now on to the actual methods we're going to implement. The first method I would recommend is setting your account up in Maximize Clicks. I would go into your keyword planner. I would look for the highest maximum bid limit you can find on average, and then apply that to your Maximize Clicks bid strategy so you don't spend crazy amounts of money and you get a lot of clicks into the account. What this is going to do is it's going to bring in a whole bunch of data into your account very, very quickly. What I like to do once we have enough data, this is either after a month of running it continuously or 30 conversions, generally whatever comes first, switching it over to target CPA. And this really gives Google more of the reins. And using this strategy, bringing in all this data really, really quickly and then handing it off to Google, Google's able to make a lot better decisions very quickly because it says, okay, I have all of this data. I know what works. I know what doesn't work, and I can go and just run with it. As opposed to starting the account off in Maximize Conversions, where Google's like, well, this keyword may work, it may not work. And this is something that a lot of people overlook. They always recommend Google's automated bidding strategies. I love Google's automated bidding strategies, but there are issues with it. And if it doesn't have enough data, it tends to not make any decisions. So that's my biggest grievance with it. So again, like I said, start it off in Maximize Clicks and then switch it over to Target CPA later on once you have enough data inside of it. This will help you out significantly and allow you to optimize your account so much quicker. Again, an AI will always beat a human provided it has the data, and that's what we need. Now, the second way to actually go about starting an account off for leads is generally just taking Maximize Conversions, setting a super high target CPA. So say you wanted to get leads for $50, you could set your leads or your target CPA, which is essentially telling Google what you're willing to spend on a lead, to $150 or $200, saying, I am willing to lose money in this first month, spend like crazy. Google's AI will normally do that. The issue with that is your chances are you're going to lose more money than you would with Maximize Clicks, in our opinion and our experience. I don't really like doing this. One of the main reasons I don't like doing this is because the amount of people starting Google Ads that are really new to Google Ads and generally don't have much experience, this is probably going to be a great way to lose a lot of money. And it's not generally something I recommend for someone new to Google Ads. So I generally recommend the first method more often because it's a little slower. However, it allows for a lot more faults. Like you can make more mistakes during the first month. You could put your maximum cost per click too low. You can put it a little too high, but generally you're not going to blow a whole bunch of money. With the second bid strategy, you absolutely can. And really, unless you know what you're doing and your experience, I just generally would not recommend the second bid strategy. It does absolutely work. However, it normally works for a different type of business. Generally, people who are in this industry, if you have a massive corporation where you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, this is generally the best way to go. As if you have a whole bunch of different conversion actions, like you're looking for emails, directions, phone calls, chatbot leads, email form signups, all this different stuff, that's generally the best way to go if you're a massive company. If you're not a massive company, go with option one. Go with Maximize Clicks. It will make your life a whole bunch better. It will allow you to start seeing results very early on inside of your Google Ads account. And really, this is the best way to bring in leads and allow Google to figure out, okay, these keywords are going to be the ones that are going to convert well and these ones aren't. And that's really where we want to get to. We want to hand the reins over to Google's AI as quickly as possible. But again, we need to give it the data it needs to work with. And if we don't do that, Google's AI is just going to take its time. So please make sure to start off Maximize Clicks and then switch over once you have 30 or so conversions. Now, if you were interested in optimizing this account even further past the actual bidding strategy, we do have an optimization checklist that I think, in my personal opinion, is awesome. And it goes over weekly things you need to change in the account, monthly things you need to change in the account, and every 3 months. And it also lets you jot down all the results so you can see month over your month on how you're improving inside your account. It's a nice little checklist just to make sure you don't forget anything to improve inside of your account, and it really makes your life a lot easier. Pilots use checklists. I use checklists because I'm prone to forget things inside of the account, and I don't want to forget things. I want to make sure this account is fully optimized to the best of the ability so we can get our clients the best results possible, and we use this checklist to get there. So if you are interested in this checklist, the link for this is down below. Get yourself a copy if you want to. Now, I do have one big favor to ask, and that is for you to leave a like on this video. I put so much time and effort into these videos. It's absolutely crazy, but I really do like making these higher higher quality videos compared to where they used to be. And honestly, it just allows my creativity to kind of go in different directions. And these videos are fun for me, and I really like doing that. So thank you so much for all the people who are liking these videos. Like, it's crazy the amount of results and the channel growth we have received from this. So thank you. Your efforts of clicking that button actually do matter. I really do appreciate it. So thank you in advance if you do choose to like this video. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to answer any of the questions you may have about Google Ads, about bidding strategies, really anything regarding Google Ads whatsoever. Leave a comment down below. I will get to it. I do my best to answer every single question. So your question will be answered to the best of my abilities. On that, you guys have a wonderful day and take care. I wish you all well.